Fíjense que viene aquí a nuestro país un hombre que yo considero hoy por hoy el mejor pianista del mundo. Y es un hombre que he venido siguiendo a lo largo de su devenir como artista. Y hoy Lang se presenta aquí en México, que es un privilegio, creo, para el país, en un ámbito que ha sido auspiciado por el Instituto de Bellas Artes, evidentemente es el recinto en el que estamos aquí, y por Telefónica. Y con todo ello, for me it's a privilege to be in touch with, for me, the best soloist in piano in the world now, alive.
Thank you so much.
It's a real pleasure. You were born with a piano in your hands, right?
Not really, but certainly when I was 1 year old, my parents already bought me a piano. So
when you were one?
Yeah. So when I start to remember things, the piano is always there.
Is always linked to your life?
Yes.
You started to play piano when you were 3?
Yes, actually 2.5, more precisely. Yeah.
2.5. Right now you're 31.
I'm actually just 32.
32. Oh yeah, because you turned 32 last week. Okay, Lang. I am always interested in the way countries educate people. What would you say it would be the role of music in education?
I think music really opens our heart, or opens our mind and creativities. And because making music, the process, is very, very inspiring. When you play music, when you learn a piece, it's almost like learning a new life experience. And for me, that process is beautiful.
I understand that you are a representative of the sophisticated part of the music, which is the cult music. But even though you are, or you represent that side of the music, you tend to be at ease when you play. You don't find the importance in protocols or a strict way of manifestation of what music is all about. You've been criticized because of that. Do you mind? Do you care?
I mean, obviously, everyone has their own ways of interpreting the piece, the different pieces. And for me, music needs to be alive. Every time when we perform, it needs to be very connected to the music itself and to the soloist or performer's heart and to the audience. And for me, that is the most important thing. I want to share the emotions and expressions and the things I learned from music to my audience. And so that's why that's the priority for my playing.
Do you, when you play, do you think about youngsters? Do you think about the young population, which by probably your interpretation could get into a different world for them and be motivated to see that trend of music that you follow?
I mean, when I teach, I try to do that. I try to have some kind of use some words which connect to the children. But when I perform, I really don't,
you think about the audience.
Yeah, I just don't really think about whether I should play for this type of age or that group of people. I never thought about it because it's just not right, because when they perform, the music need to come first. And the age or the group, different countries, that's not, I mean, it's not, you shouldn't think about it when you perform.
When you perform, this man has played with all the big orchestras in the world, right? The most important.
Yeah, every one of them.
What have you learned about those groups when you play with them, or which has been the most important orchestra for you as a performer?
I mean, obviously, when you perform with different orchestras, they have a different style.
Yes.
When you play with Chicago Symphony, they have incredible brass sections. And when you play with Berlin Philharmonic, they have such an incredible tradition. When you play with Vienna Philharmonic, their style of playing Mozart or Strauss, it just, you cannot compare. So their personalities, their tradition of sound inspire me when I perform with them. They take me into their world, and we try to get connected, and I try to adapt my cultures into their music makings.
What would you say about the Chinese culture in music? Your culture in music?
Yeah, Chinese culture are quite, what do you call, impressionist, and especially in the old music time.
Well, I'm sorry, your father is a performer of the...
Erhu, which is a Chinese violin, but only 2 strings.
Only 2 strings?
Yeah, and goes vertical. This way. And for Chinese style of music, it's very imaginative, and can be very soft, and can be very moody. And I really love it because it brings me to a different sort of a type of art world. It's like watching the Chinese watercolor painting. It's simple, but it's very precise. Yeah.
Would you describe yourself as that? Simple, precise, imaginative?
I mean, it depends on what music you play. I mean, if I play Chinese music, I try to get that style in, but when you play German music, it's really, it has a really complex of structure of the music, and the Chinese impression feeling maybe doesn't really work in those works. So
totally different worlds.
Yeah.
What do you say about Mexican music, called Mexican music?
Yes, I actually tonight I'm gonna play Manuel Ponce's.
Manuel Ponce.
Yeah, he's an intermezzo. And I love his work. It's just so liberal and spiritual, and has this most beautiful rubatos from the beautiful deep soul of Mexican culture. Even though maybe not everybody knows him in the worldwide base, but through his music, everybody feels the beautiful feelings of Mexican culture.
When when Moncayo made his presentation in New York, he couldn't realize how appealing it was, his music, to the American audience. He was surprised by the success of his presentation. That was many years ago.
Not only in America, I mean, recently I played those pieces in many of the Asian countries, and people are asking me in the backstage.
Where is that from?
Yeah, and they ask me how to get the music they want to play. So the impression on everywhere for his work is tremendous.
Are you married, Lang Lang?
No, I'm still
pretending.
No, I'm still looking. I'm working hard to find the future.
Are you really working hard for that? I mean, do you really have time for that?
Yeah, I mean, after concert, as you know, I have time. But this summer actually gave me quite good time, because July, after the World Cup, I have a...
You're going to be there in what, next week or so?
Yeah, next week. So after the World Cup, I have 1 month off.
Is that right?
So yeah, I'm going to get some dating time there.
When you have spare time, do you forget the piano? Or do you practice?
It's hard to forget the piano because the music's always in my mind. And
but you sit in front of the piano when you're like at ease, like this summer, for example. Are you gonna be?
I probably only practice a little bit, but I try to have some time separated, from playing the piano. The problem is after second day, when I don't touch the keys, I got a problem. Mentally, I need to feel the piano.
You need to feel the piano. Yes. How many hours do you study a day? As an overall basis?
2 hours.
How many?
2 hours.
Only 2?
Yeah.
Because I've seen soloists that play 12, 13 hours.
I mean, when you're 13 years old, yeah, 13 hours. But
But not now.
But not now. When you're traveling all the time, you can't do it.
How do you see yourself in the future? Like when you're my age? You're
still young, so you're just probably 1 year older than me. I'm actually going to focus on my education part. So I'm going to spend a lot of time on my foundations work. So now I have a foundation based in New York. We are trying to open up a series of classes around public schools in America first, but then going into different part of the world. And so that's going to be a major part of my future plans, because playing concerts is great, and I will always trying to play good concerts. But in the same time, I think education is more important.
Well, just let me tell you as a sign-off for this interview that I have never seen such a sensitive man playing the piano as I have seen in your style, your way of seeing things, probably the way of seeing life, and putting it all together with the great attitude that you have towards the instrument. I think that you have a part in history of the music of the 21st century, no doubt about it. And it's really a pleasure to have met you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Lang Lang.
I appreciate your words, and I will keep going.
My pleasure, my pleasure. Thank you very much. Es un extraordinario, es un virtuoso del piano, y yo estoy completamente convencido de que en este siglo, en el siglo XXI, no hay en este momento vivo alguien tan sensible, tan extraordinariamente emocional y tan apto para tocar el instrumento como este hombre que tengo aquí a mi lado. Lang Lang es hoy por hoy un fenómeno de la música, sin duda alguna. Fíjense que viene aquí a nuestro país un hombre que yo considero hoy por hoy el mejor pianista del mundo, y es un hombre que he venido siguiendo a lo largo de su devenir como artista, y hoy Lang Lang se presenta aquí en México, que es un privilegio. Last week. Okay, Lang Lang, I am always interested in the way countries educate people. What would you say it would be the role of music in education?
I think music really opens our heart, or opens our mind. I remember things. The piano is always there.
Is always linked to your life?
Yes.
You started to play piano when you were 3?
Yes, actually 2.5, more precisely. Yeah.
2.5. Right now you're 31.
I'm actually just 32.
32. Oh yeah, because you turned 32 in the world now, alive.
Thank you so much. That's
it's a real pleasure. You were born with a piano in your hands, right?
Not really, but certainly when I was 1 year old, my parents already bought me a piano. So
when you were 1?
Yeah. So when I started.
Colegio, creo, para el país, en un ámbito que ha sido auspiciado por el Instituto de Bellas Artes, evidentemente es el recinto en el que estamos aquí, y por Telefónica, y con todo ello, for me it's a privilege to be in touch with, for me, the best soloist in piano.